Jesus said when you're invited to a banquet, don't go for the front row seats because you might sit down in those front row seats and then an usher is gonna have to come to you and tell you, I'm sorry, these seats are reserved. Could you please move out of these seats? And by that time, the house is full and you need to go sit at the lowest seats. So, humility is really simple. You don't go for the best seats, you go for the worst seats. And what happens then, according to what Jesus said, is that when the party begins and the host sees that you're not around, he can't find you because he's looking in the reserved seats. Then he'll send his usher and look for you, and they'll tell you, you shouldn't be like way back here. You should be at the reserved seats near the host. And then they bring you up to the front row seats. And you walk from the back to the front in full view of a full house. So now that you know that story, what you're gonna do is take the worst seats all the time as a gimmick to elevate yourself, as a way to get yourself recognition and glory in front of the full house. So it turns out that humility isn't that simple after all, because once you know the tricks, you can employ those tricks for arrogance and pride and all kinds of ulterior motives. So it's really not that simple after all. You could see someone going to the front row seats, and is he trying to elevate himself, or has he spent many banquets going to the back row seats and therefore causing undue stress and extra work for the ushers, not to mention the host who keeps wondering where he is. And then he finally decides one day that, alright, they always want me at the front row seats, so I'm just gonna go straight to the front row seats. So when you see someone going to the front row seats, you really never know what's in the heart, whether they're doing it out of humility or pride. Likewise for the back row seats. Is the guy just humble? Is he lacking in self-esteem? Is he a conniving, prideful guy trying to engineer some good PR for himself? So humility isn't really that simple or complex, but it is a mystery. It's one of those things of the human heart that you never know by looking at external circumstances. You need to look into the heart, and no one really can do that, can they? It takes the Spirit of God to uncover what is in the heart. So I guess, take the front row seat or the back row seat or the middle seat, whatever. Just do whatever you do out of as pure a heart as you can, and just leave it at that, because there's not much else that you and I can do. Everything else we try to do is just gonna be conniving and mechanisms. Right. See you then. If you vibe with what I say, give me a subscribe and a like. Check out my links below.